Lots of music. Welcome to tonight's program, medicinalmarijuana.tv. I'm your host, Max Montrose, and this is my lovely co-host,
Erin Hayes.
So, thank you for the Hawaiian tonight. We've got a little Hawaiian theme going on tonight, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But first, how was your day?
I had an alright day. I'm going to apologize to you guys in advance if I seem a little loopy or start making a disgusted face. I had a little accident with my lava lamp, and it went crashing down on my head. I might have got a concussion, but the show must go on, so here I am.
Were you medicated?
I was not medicated, which is probably why it hurt more. Yeah, it was pretty early in the morning. Well, I mean, in the morning is like 2 p.m. for me, but yeah.
2 p.m. in the afternoon?
Yeah, but that's the morning for me if I'm not employed, you know.
Okay, so you woke up and you weren't medicated, which is why a lava lamp cracked you in the skull.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's pretty unpleasant. Definitely don't recommend that. Keep your lava lamp at a secure place. Make sure it doesn't swing down and give you a concussion.
For sure. Well, we have been working on our website. We're trying to get some new photos updated and work on a couple of things. We were taking some photos this weekend, actually, and it was fun because we got to play with some marijuana plants and we were taking some shots, you know, smoking some J's, and I actually smoked so hard, that joint so long for that photo, that I actually, for the first time in my life, was able to set off a fire alarm by smoking a joint.
Well, that was just because it was repeatedly just like...
But I wasn't really inhaling much. I was really like blowing more smoke out to try to try to make it look cool. But we'll see if that looks cool or not. I heard something funny though. I had brunch this weekend with my little Jewish family. We had lox and bagel, and of course we got into the marijuana conversation. What I'm doing
as
in
always,
my life.
as always.
Right. It's a hot topic, and it was funny because this lady said that she just came back from Humboldt, California, not too long ago, and she said the brunch over there was funny because they brought out all these brownies, and all the kids automatically ran straight up to the brownies, of course, to get some. But kids in Humboldt are very smart, and they will always ask which brownies are for them and which ones
These
aren't.
kids' brownies, Mom?
It's Humboldt kids, they just know. So, I mean, imagine if you grew up in a culture like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. But anyways, we've got a great show for you folks tonight. Lots on the agenda, good, interesting things in medical marijuana news here in Colorado and elsewhere in the world. But tonight, we'd like to start with a special guest. This is my patient, Ray Merriweather. Ray, welcome to the show.
Hey, Max.
How you feeling today?
Feel great. And yourself?
I'm doing all right. So, I mean, it was warmer earlier today, so you felt good?
Oh, I went biking today.
Yeah? And actually, because when I saw you, because I was going to pick you up, but you wouldn't let me because you could drive yourself. But when I saw you, you were all running around. It was sunny, but... is that going to change drastically, like, as the night progresses, as it gets a little colder?
Unfortunately, it will, but, coping with the symptoms, very easy.
Well, let's talk about your symptoms. You have MS, correct?
I do.
And when did you discover you have MS?
I was diagnosed March 25th, 2008. They believe I had the onset since 2001.
Oh, wow. And just for some of our viewers out there, what exactly is multiple sclerosis?
Multiple sclerosis, I guess, can be best described as a chronic neurological progressive disease with no clinical course.
So what do you experience on a daily basis like?
The most fascinating thing about MS is that no two people on the planet share the same course. So symptoms can vary. What's critical about MS is the location of the lesions, but at the end of the day, it's a progressive neurological disease that is basically designed to disable you.
And what specifically do you encounter on a daily basis? What specifically happens to your body?
I suffer from severe pain, weakness, sensory loss, and gait dysfunction. Sensory loss is chronic pain, nerve neuropathy in my feet and my hands, chronic muscle spasms. I suffer from gait dysfunction, which means I can't walk straight. In addition to that, I do have lesions located on my right frontal lobe. So I would have what's called classic multiple sclerosis. So day to day, I deal with chronic pain, dizziness from time to time, loss of orientation, muscle spasms, as I mentioned. And a lot of it's based on the climate and my surroundings.
And so the climate, the warmer the climate, the better you're feeling, and the colder the climate.
Absolutely. The greatest way to get vitamin D is from the sun. And I'm living proof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so is that why you picked Colorado to live in? Because it's like the sunniest state?
Or 300 days a year.
Yeah, that's true.
That helps.
So, yeah, probably better here than like Oregon or Seattle. We're completely downcast all the time. So.
Well, that's what's interesting about MS. You develop it as a child, pre-puberty, and it's for those who live above the 40th parallel in the northern hemisphere and the western hemisphere, eastern, so on and so forth. So as a result, when they say no two people share the same course, that's usually linked to DNA and brain activity. Now, since MS goes back to 1800, they have yet to come up with any viable solution. Wow. So at the end of the day, I'm on my own.
So, well, let's talk about some MS solutions that they have come up with, because there are many people in the world who have MS, and there's lots of doctors working on medications for MS. And, I mean, there's about 40 medications on the market right now available to MS patients. Can you talk a little bit about those and any that you've been prescribed yourself?
I can't speak on symptom-related prescribed medication.
Okay.
I can, however, speak on treatment. After my initial diagnosis last year, or in 2008, I was offered what are called interferons, injections. My body rejected the injections right away. I tried 3 different forms of injections and came to the conclusion that it's not worth the risk. I had what were deemed respiratory and heart issues, which were not synonymous with any of the side effects.
Huh. And you've been, doctors, when they try to help you, they help you by offering you drugs or?
A host of medications. Unfortunately, there are a number of symptoms that come from MS. A lot of them are pills, injections, infusions. A lot of the medications that they use for MS have significant side effects, potential organ damage, and it's hard to quantify the efforts that the medical industry is making. But once again, no two people share the same course, so that kind of spells it out for me.
Oh, and when did you become a medical marijuana patient?
I became a patient in July of last year, and before I became a patient, I decided to do research. MS is a very unusual disease, as we all know, but there is one link, the 40th parallel. So I decided to do some research over in the UK and Canada where MS is prevalent. Now, the UK, at the University of Queen Anne, is doing research right now with a Dr. Giovanni, who and his team are drawing conclusions that the THC, which is a compound, active compound, can slow MS progression.
Oh, wow.
My purpose for using it is very simple. It allows me to use brain plasticity. That's very important for someone like me with my course of MS. So what I'm basically doing is treating my brain to ignore pain.
Oh, okay.
And be able to stay active and still be able to function and think.
And now it is amazing to see you when you're having a bad MS day, because when I used to work at the dispensary, I remember days when it was snowing really hard, and when you would come in, he would come into the dispensary, no joke, like shaking like this hard, man, and
it was like I was relapsing.
He would be crawling on his shoulder on the side of the wall, and then the second we'd give you some ISS or some Golden Goat, your shakes immediately just disappeared. And it is amazing to watch someone who's having these live physical symptoms, and then to physically see medical marijuana